Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and yes, I'm very late to the party, but I'm going to be discussing in this video with yourselves 1027. Now, of course, this actually went live whilst I was still at the MCM Comic Con, but of course, I was incredibly lucky to actually have the Constructicons in hand in front of me as well. So this is why this is going to be a little bit different. So of course, we're going to be discussing it. I've got all the official images as well now because of course it's a day later. And again, it's just a review and a recap, and again, a bit of discussion and I suppose my opinions on what was revealed. So all of these images I've got from TFW 2005, by the way, and a few from Tformers. So of course this was the main part of the stream. So we got our first Age of the Primes figure revealed, and of course we got Devastator. So it was, as I say, 1027. You can watch this now. It is on their Hasbro Pulse premium YouTube channel, so if you haven't seen it yet, I didn't get to see it until today, and yes, my voice is still nearly gone, so I apologize for that. It is definitely worth a watch, purely for, well, there's two or three reasons. One, when you see the enthusiasm and the excitement in the designer's face, and two, you know, it's an actual product, so they've got it in hand, and three, they get to describe to you what went into it, etc. So we're going to start off with Megatronus and the main notes from Megatronus. You can't see that, and yes, if you're new to this channel, unfortunately this is exactly the way that I do it, because I'm very, very old school. I've just realized that says Rust down the side. Just R-U-S-S. There you go. Anyway, that's just something completely not even important. Anyway, so removable flame effects, 5mm ports, that's great. So that also means you can put weapons as well if you wanted to. Suppressor on the nozzles removable, spear and blade, rolling wheels, and packing is delicious, which is a great way of discussing it. So, and that's something that Mark would of course love to say. So there it is in hand with him on the table, and again, some of the screenshots are a bit like me, sometimes they're not the most flattering, but the figure itself is, the figure looks absolutely stunning. The flame details on it is fantastic. It just looks so good, and I love the fact that, as I say, that you can take these off. They do look incredible, and I would imagine, as I say, that you could, with attaching some sort of blast effects to the gun and to the cannon as well, then it's going to only add to just how amazing this thing is going to look. It really is. Very, very excited for it. I think it looks great, and of course we're going to be able to discuss in a second the packaging, because there are definitely, look at his face on there, definitely some Easter eggs on the packaging. And again, this is the, I suppose, this is the advantage of hindsight, shall we say, that now this has been out for a day, we can look back and we can see what people have already spotted. Now, people have already spotted on the internet, and I've seen it in a couple of group chats. So this is the side of the box, and it says 13 primes, of course, and then I've zoomed in there to the nearest one on the outside. Now, somebody's already, and I can't find the image anywhere, unfortunately, they've took that particular image and they've coloured it in the Star, that was pure luck, the Star Convoy colours. He's always there. Anybody who's watched my channel for ages will know that he's been there for ages, but I thought, well, there you go. Yeah, they've coloured him in the Star Convoy colours, and of course that is very, very heavily rumoured. JT Prime's pretty much confirmed it, but it's not been confirmed by Hasbro that he's going to be the next Titan. So that is going to be amazing if that does 100% come to fruition. Then of course we've got the actual production images of this amazing figure, and yeah, as I say, if this is the first one, then we are in for an absolute treat with regarding the rest. Then of course we moved on to Nate and Evan, who talked about the Constructicons, and as I said, I can add a little bit more to this than perhaps what isn't on here and what isn't online. We did discuss a few things in the unboxing videos, which I'm sure you've seen, but I'm getting loads of comments, and hopefully this will also answer a lot of them as well. We're talking about the boxes and all that sort of stuff as well, and funny enough, I've got the Combiner Wars one up there, but it just wouldn't fit sort of anywhere near me. So these are the key points to take from this. So it's going to be 3 waves, which is brilliant, and in fact that's going to apply to all of Studio Series figures. So what they're saying is that basically every third, I was going to say quarterly, but it's not, of course, it's thirdly, if that's even a word. What's the word for third? I don't know. So thirdly, 3 different waves, I'm going to say thirdly, they're going to release the figures. There's not going to be 4 waves with regard to Studio Series, because most of the times at least one of the waves will have what they call a package refresh, which of course we've seen loads of times, and it is exactly that. So it's just the same figure in a different packaging, sorry, not in a packaging, just in the same box, just reissued through there. Package refresh is something different, I'm getting mixed up. So the same figure can be released in, you know, multiple waves, because for instance, I think they use Bumblebee as an example, and of course Bumblebee's a very popular character. So with these, and also I think that helps us budget budget better, as they said as well. So we've got Scrapper's going to be Voyager, Bonecrusher's going to be Deluxe, and they're going to be available. Well, you can pre-order them now. Unfortunately, I've heard lots of places have sold out, but again, from speaking to the people in person, same as Optimus Prime, don't worry if it sells out instantly. Just keep your eyes on Hasbro Pulse, because again, they will reappear. Same as Optimus Prime did. Just again, there's an English saying, hold your horses. Literally, just hold your horses, just wait, and they will sort of appear. Then you've got Long Haul and Hook Voyagers 2-pack Commander Class July. This explains all the comments that I'm getting about the boxes. On the boxes, yes, it says 1 of 5, which is correct, because there's only going to be 5 boxes. So of course, you've got 4 figures packed into individual boxes, and then you've got the 5th box, which is going to be the 2 figures together, packed together, so they can basically put them at Commander Class with all the other bits that they're going to need. So I hope that clears up the boxes. So yes, there's still six Constructicons, but there's only going to be 5 boxes. 2 figures are going to be in the 1 box, so that explains that. Elbows and blasters is really important, because the Combiner Wars versions didn't. And as I said, the Combiner Wars versions, yes, it's going to be a lot bigger, but what you're getting is, it's the same as, I suppose the best example I can give is the Voyager class Ironhide. I think was the first one for Studio Series 86. It isn't what people would most commonly class as being a Voyager class size. It's the engineering that goes into it that puts them at a different price point, and that's exactly what's going on here. So you've got the additional articulation on them, and that's basically exactly the same sort of principle as what's been going on. In fact, it's been happening for quite some time. If you think of Hot Rod as well, again, Studio Series 86, where they're really going to town with the engineering, because of how much more complex it is, because of, again, how much more difficult it is to make, etc. That's what pushes it up into the actual different price category or size category as it is. I think it's better to say size category, because price category, because size category doesn't count anymore. And yes, of course, with Hot Rod, there are loads of accessories as well, but that's, I suppose, just going to clear that up as well. It also says Scrapper's Voyager scale due to the engineering. There you go, for Devastator's weight control and ankles. Assume the same for Mixmasters. That's exactly saying that. Obviously, they've got to support a huge amount of weight above them, so they're going to need extra strength. I'm thinking it was ratchets and stuff, but again, we will see in more detail later on. These are EP2 versions, so that doesn't mean they're the end product. That just means that, as I say, they're version 2, and they did say themselves that the colour needs to be changed. We'll come to Devastator in a minute, but these are some of the images taken from the actual, as I say, I want to say, yeah, YouTube, whatever it was on YouTube, wasn't it? But the Pulse Premium channel. So that's the figure in hand. The one thing I want to get across is, as I say, obviously super lucky to even see these, never mind actually have them right in front of me. They are chunky bots. They are very robust. There's a lot going on with them, and I think that's perhaps the best way I can sort of word them. They're not, they don't feel flimsy at all. You can see the articulation in the ankles, etc. They come with their blasters, which I know it sounds silly. It's quite a big thing. This is like a mini advert now, which came on during the stream, which is now everywhere. It's all over Instagram. I've seen it so many times before I even seen the video. So here it's clearly showing that, of course, it's going to be the leg. There you go. And now the good thing is, as I say, hence, well, this is sometimes the advantage of doing something a day or so later. We've got some official images as well. So these are from Tformers now, to be honest. There, of course, is the box for Scrapper. There he is again, actual proper product shots. I'm wondering if the blasters or something can combine, because that looks like a really big blaster. And also, funnily enough, going back to this image here, it also looks like perhaps there's going to be the power-up modes. If you don't know what the power-up modes are, I've done a video on the power-up modes on the Generation 1 figures. The Generation 1 figures of Devastator, so the green one, had the powered up version, had the powered up alternate mode. That's what I'm trying to say. So it looks like perhaps that gun is going to combine. I don't know, as I say, I really can't tell you with that. That's what it looks like to me, and that's definitely a powered up mode there, which is great. And there again is all his accessories for Scrapper. And then, of course, we're going to move on to final images of the box. The box now, the ones that I had, again, so forgive me because I didn't have a chance to ask. I didn't get a chance to see the questions until I got home. Loads of people are talking about the backing cards. And the stands, the displays. Yes, they weren't in that particular one Whether or not that's going to be the case, I don't know. What I will do is I will ask them as soon as they get back. It's quite a bit of a distance away. Obviously, they've travelled over for the weekend, so I will ask, and I'll get that put up on here as soon as possible. If I was hoping for anything, it would be something like I've been requesting for ages, and that would be to maybe have all the 5 boxes, the 5 backgrounds, and piece them together to be a huge scene rather than just a standard one, because of course you're going to want to put Devastator on his own background, on his own scene sort of thing. So maybe, I don't know, this was something that I suggested quite a long time ago, and they obviously previously did it as well with Teletran 1 with the Netflix figures. So fingers crossed that that's the thing. Maybe that, I don't know, that's just something I'm hoping for. I haven't got confirmation, I've heard nothing like that, but I'm hoping that perhaps that's what they do, or maybe that could also be the reason why they haven't done one, because by the time you've combined him into Devastator, you know, the backing card's going to be up to his knee, so it will probably defeat the purpose of doing it. So then, of course, they went on to the next part, which was, again, the next figure rather, and they showed, these reminded me, funny enough, and me and Evan were talking about this over the weekend, like bumpers in between the cartoons. So, like, obviously they did a bumper in between each figure, and we never got the bumpers in the UK, so I just think it was quite nice that they did that. And, of course, you can see now we've got the right arm. There we go. And again, you can see there, we've already got, I suppose, an image and a tease of what the final form was going to be. So there you go. You can see here, you know, there's articulation in the knees, articulation in the treads, which do the ankles as well. And again, as I say, having seen these guys in hand, they are chunky, they're robust. And again, I can't wait to see an actual, I know we're going to see one in a minute, but if you know what I mean a full colour, proper colour, one of these guys, Devastators, all fully built up. There is the packaging again. So you've got, and I did mention that, I did say to Evan, I said the boxes look a bit smaller. Maybe they are. I didn't have time to get another one just to show it in comparison. I do think that they did look a little bit smaller, and of course with Bonecrusher's box, it just looked that little bit smaller to me. But again, you know, he's got his blaster. That's a very weak powered up mode. If it is, that's nothing like what you could do with the G1, but it's nice that the blaster is included. So of course, then the final thing, the big reveal, was of course Devastator. And again, key points on this, if I just go back to the notes that I've got on here, where does it say it? It said that there's no plans at the moment, which again I said on one of my videos months back, that there's no plans at the moment to release a full gift set, not for at least a couple of years. As I said, they're also looking to get them out. It works out across 6 months with your 3 waves across the year. So that's obviously good. So they're all going to come out, and they all said themselves, and again in the interview that I did with Evan separately on this channel, if you're new to this channel, I did an interview with him as well. And where he basically said that they're going to get them all out, as I say, in a calendar year. And they mention it even on here as well. No more of the missing breakdown figure from Menasor, which unfortunately, way more of you than I even realised. I think in the UK we were quite lucky. He popped up in a couple of stores, but I didn't realise it was as bad as what it is around the world. So they don't want any of that to happen again. So they want them all to come out again in between, 4 months in between them all, which is obviously really good, because that's the way. So it can't be 6 months then. So it's anyway, it's about 8 months, I suppose, from the very first ones coming out to the other ones. But either way, they're going to come out in a calendar year, and you're going to be able to get them. Now, whether or not, the other question that I asked him, and I've been asking for ages, whether or not the payment plan, in fact, no, it won't be coming into effect because you can already pre-order these. So unfortunately, that looks like it's missed out on that. But there does seem to be something, again, not confirmed, but they are genuinely taking on board the idea of payment plans, and, you know, backing, not like backing like a HasLab, but like a payment plan for things like this. It obviously looks like Devastator's not going to be part of that because the pre-order's already live, but maybe in the future that could be something that they look at doing. But anyway, here of course is the Devastator grey model they've got, and as they said, he is just that little bit bigger than Menasor. And I've seen loads of pictures online as well of people getting images from the cartoon of, you know, Optimus or Megatron, and he does seem to be just about waist and hip height with Menasor. And again, it looks fantastic. I can't wait to see the fully combined version in hand. It looks to be much more robust. It looks to be exactly that, just more articulate. Don't get me wrong, and I know a lot of people You've got the Combiner Wars one. I've got one here myself, physically up there. But I've also got to confess, I've never really played with it. I've just sort of popped it up there. But, you know, the big glaring thing about, even though they were Voyager class figures, to have no elbow joints, straight away we've got a huge improvement in that. And let's be honest as well, the colour scheme on him wasn't exactly perfect. So with these, it looks like it's going to be much better. Of course, the addition of the extra accessories, weapons, which again we never had, it looks to be a solid improvement. So hopefully I've answered some of the questions there. Evan did say, he literally said, any questions that you've got regarding them, if you can get them down, and I will filter them to them. And then obviously what I'll probably do is a separate video, and it'll just be that replies and answers to the questions that you are asking. So in the meantime, guys, I hope you can hear, I hope you understood it, because my voice is awful. And in the meantime, I'm very excited. I want you to let me know what you think in the comments. Take care.